Moms of Reddit, what is a wild secret of your past that your kids rather not know about? My mom told my siblings and me on Easter, when I was 14, that she used to be a child prostitute for the Yakuza. She told us because her sister was going to tell us because she felt like my mom had stolen her daughter and was using it as a bargaining chip. My cousin came to live with us across the country because her mom was in jail for drug abuse. I grew weed legally. When I did it, my straight-laced father went on a long speech about growing techniques and tips. About 2/3 through he kinda stopped and stared at me and my brother and adds the addendum. So I've heard. Either through it or my mom was shooting daggers at him. I met my son's dad through a post he made on the casual encounters section of Craigslist. Our families think we met at a sports bar. I didn't get pregnant from a one-time thing or an NSA situation. We were together for 6 years. My mom used to date a drug lord in Birmingham, but was practically his crack whore. He raped her, she had my brother, and to get away from it all, she joined the military. Dude ended up going to prison at the same time, and was stabbed to death just a few weeks in. My mother didn't tell us or my brother until he was around 35ish. Wow, thanks for the silver kind stranger, my first. One Thanksgiving, my grandmother confessed to the family that her father had run a speakeasy and that she would tend bar/mind the shop while he was out on liquor runs. I think she was pretty ashamed, but I think everyone found it pretty cool and didn't understand why she kept it a secret so long. I was a flasher when I was a preteen living in Italy. Went through a phase, I guess. I would also prefer they didn't know about all the raunchy shit their future stepdaddy and I do behind closed doors. My firstborn daughter I had at a very young age. I was 18, in grade 12, skipping every single day, partying all the time, and hanging out with a drug dealer at the time. That's her dad. He and I are not together. I moved on and got married, and he is currently engaged, and he stopped dealing shortly after we found out I was pregnant. We co-parent really well actually, and he is now quite the stand-up father. All our daughter knows is that her mom and dad didn't love each other, so we separated, and now she's lucky to have 2 moms and 2 dads that love her very much. She's now 7. I'm wondering if it'll ever come out later about how her dad and I met. Edit **** love all the positive feedback. And yes, we all co-parent really well. It took a little bit of time, but that's normal I think lol. We just want her to grow up knowing that, even though we may not all live together, 100 of the time, that we all talk and communicate and love her the same. I was a drug dealer. Weed and pills. Worked 2 legit jobs along with the game, just to afford my 1-bedroom apartment. During Vietnam War era my mom had a pretty serious boyfriend, and he got drafted, and she dumped him for my dad. Daughter of a mother with a wild secret, my dad was abusive, an extreme alcoholic and hit her regularly, so she kicked him in the balls so hard that he couldn't have kids. After me, obviously. He's dead now, drunk driving. He took 4 people with him. My aunt got tipsy and told me everything. My mum told me once, while she was tipsy, that my dad was actually her high school teacher and they began a sexual relationship when she was his student at the age of 16. She said they would often have sex with her in school uniform. They managed to keep everything under wraps for years, and they got married when she graduated from college and gave birth to me a few years later. Not sure how wild this is, but right before I was born, like 2 or 3 days beforehand, my dad's older cousin had a daughter born severely unhealthy. She wasn't stillborn, but she wasn't going to make it past a few days. So anyway, after I was born my dad's aunt came into the delivery room and said to my mom, "You two are young, you'll have plenty of time to have another child, but my daughter can't. Let me buy this baby off of you." I only found out about this when I was 15 because my sister told me. Apparently my parents never planned on telling me this. Edit, effing autocorrect. Growing up, my mother was a titan. She graduated top of her class in her PharmD and chaired several major drug regulation boards. She was always very serious about school, and we were told that B's were absolutely unacceptable because she was a straight A student all through college. We took that to heart up until I was cleaning out the attic a few years ago when I discovered some old grade reports from college. Guess who got a C in sociology and another one in linear algebra? Tough take, mom. Tough take. I'm the dad in this situation, but my wife used to be severely addicted to opiates, which I helped get her out of by moving the family to a new town and letting her spend 2 weeks in bed dealing with withdrawals, while I handled every other aspect of the house, including finding work and setting up the kids for school, etc. I just told the kids she was sick and needed to sleep, which wasn't entirely false. It was super emotionally taxing, but I would do it again in a heartbeat because it worked, and she's been clean for 2 years. When my wife let it slip around her mom that she was having a lot of lesbian urges, her mom just waved it off and said been there, done that, didn't like it. Not my mom, thank God, but an old girlfriend's. Her grandma got her mom drunk at the age of 15 and had a guest stranger have sex with her. Not quite wild. More dark really. And horribly sad. I just learned that I was likely conceived on Easter when my mom wore a crotchless lace onishi and teased my dad all night, and then I was born 9 months later. FML. Back in the 90s I flew to Canada and spent the weekend with a guy I'd been talking to in a chat room. Great, you made it to the end. Now smash that like button and subscribe for even more videos like this one.